And good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope that you all are doing okay today. As you click on the video, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and share the video. That helps the video to circulate, but definitely please hit the like button. I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and all of my new subscribers that are coming in. And there have been a lot of them coming in. They are fitting right in with my old subscribers. I really appreciate you all. I love having a mature audience that's eclectic. I really appreciate that so much. When we can be on our grown folk stuff. My subscribers absolutely rock, and as I always say, I'm rocking with y'all for real. But I wanted to talk a few minutes about Cornelius Smith and his bond hearing. Of course, he has a bond hearing coming up on July the 1st. And that will be Friday. Now, I know a lot of people wondering, is he going to get a bond? He probably will. He probably will. There's nothing spectacular about that. Most of them do. It does not matter that it was a murder charge because a lot of murderers get bonds. It does not matter that, when people start to say, well, even though it was a murder charge, if he was guilty, Young Dolph's case is very deep. Young Dolph is, case is international, whatever. Look at how big his case is. If he was, people try to twist stuff. If he was innocent, if he was guilty, they wouldn't have set a bond. Yes, they would. Lorenzen Wright, and there have been a lot of other celebrities that was murdered, and their perpetrators got bonds, right? It doesn't matter about them getting a bond. What matters is that's if that happens. What matters is how much the bond is set for and who's actually going to pay it. I want y'all to pay close attention to that. How much the bond is set for and who is going to pay the bond. I always try to keep my subscribers on the right track because oftentimes that's where your answers come from. We already know with Cornelius, right? Cornelius, if it's $1 million bond, I think I've explained this before, but I'm going to explain it again. Of course, I have a friend that owns a very successful bonding company, right? I called him and I asked him, because most people go to his company. What would it take to make like $1 million bond? I didn't call his agents. I called the man, him. He's the one. He's the man. So he said that, if first of all, if it's $1 million bond, it's $100,000, right? He's going to require 10%, which is 100,000. He says the way that it works is people think that, where they put their houses up, the house cannot be 100,000. The house has to be equivalent to $1 million, because if he skips bail, then he has to go pay that $1 million. So he has to have collateral that's equivalent to $1 million, normally a house, but he's going to take 10%, right? He said, so even though and the house has to be paid for, it cannot be a house that's owned by the bank. You know how people still making payments on their mortgages? That he cannot put a lien on that. The bank still owns it. It has to be $1 million house that's paid for. We don't know a lot of people that's got $1 million homes that's paid for unless they filthy rich, right? That's why I say keep an eye on who's going to pay that bond, okay? Because oftentimes that's where the answers come from. He said even with 10% being paid down, what he'll do is, he said, I want cash. So they're going to have to give me 50,000. Okay. And I will allow them to make payments on the other 50,000 while I put a lien on $1 million home until he returns to court. That's to ensure that he returns to court. But they still going to have to pay that $50,000 down plus make payments, because that's how he make his money. And until those payments are made, even if he returns to court, he's going to keep a lien on that $1 million house that's paid for and not owned by the bank. until that other $50,000 is paid for. Now, who does Cornelius know that could that the bonding company could put a lien on a $1 million house that's paid for, that's not owned by, they're not making payments on it, mortgage payments. And who can come up with 100 grand? I'd be interested. It would be, that's if it's set at $1 million. It could be set at more than $1 million. But even still, it would be interesting to know how that would happen, right? See, I kind of keep my eyes on stuff like that, not on anything that's practiced, okay? Because there's nothing abnormal about him having a bond hearing and him getting a bond, because that's practice. That's stuff that happens every day with people who have charges worse than Cornelius, right? And so if the judge does not see him as a flight risk, he will give him a bond. It's probably going to be high as hell. And then that's when you start kind of paying close attention to how he's going to make that, because the area that Cornelius lived in, every house on that street wouldn't equate to $1 million. Okay. All of them together on that block wouldn't equate to $1 million. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I know that area. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. I know a lot of people, have a lot of different opinions about, if Cornelius was involved or not. I wasn't out there, but based on what I was told by reliable sources that I trust, I don't see how he's going to get out of it. If he wasn't out there, I keep saying that he put himself in a bad position based on what I was told that they have, the type of evidence that they have on it. Right. So I don't know how he's going to get out of it. Do I believe he was involved some kind of way? I do. I do personally. I believe that he is. Looking at Cornelius' small little frame before he gained his weight, when he was in that court, you go back and look at some of those videos from early on, and looking at now, video is deceptive. If you turn to the side sometimes, especially if you have on, like they had on jackets and stuff, it will make you look bigger. Especially if the jackets kind of move or something like that, video can be extremely deceptive. But looking at him standing at a straight angle, right directly in front of that cookie shop, it looks like his frame to me. The other one definitely looks like Straight Drop's frame. I sure don't know how Straight Drop gonna get out of it. I don't. But like I said, I always say you just have to let things play out. Like I'm not being paid by anybody. Nobody got a battery in my back. So I'm not gonna get on here and go back and forwards with people, because everybody is entitled to their own opinions. Right? Everybody is entitled to their very own opinions. So, I always say just wait it out. Just wait it out. Like I said, based on what I've been told, I just don't see how they're going to get out of it. And I've talked to, multiple people that would absolutely know. People in that prosecutor's office that would know, that don't have a dog in the fight, that are absolutely good people that's been working, doing this forever, that ain't even got nothing to do, necessarily with the prosecutors, but they handle things as it relates to, that grand jury stuff, So, I mean, and they don't have any relationship with the police. I don't see, if it was somebody else, because see, I wasn't out there. So I can't get on here and say it wasn't them. No, and then start getting mad and harassing everybody else. And I don't have no agendas, and the people that paid them to do this ain't paying me. I wouldn't take no payments anyway. I don't respect people that can have a battery put in their back. So you're not going to see me getting mad at people and trying to discredit people, because everyone has a right to his or her own opinion. But I do always say nobody gonna get on my page and be disrespectful as it relates to Dawg, or to his artist, because I rise with his artist, and I don't know them personally, but I do know based on the little bit that I do know about this case from people that are on the inside as it relates to this case, those young boys did not, I'm talking about DOS artists, did not have anything to do with this. So I'm not going to let people push that narrative, whatever. I want the people that did this and plan this to get, what's coming to them. So as I was out, as I always say, all you could do is just wait it out. Don't get emotional, because when you get emotional, as I always say, when you let people get you emotional, you don't think logically. It gets you all upset, and oftentimes it's misinformation anyways. That's why I give my information and then I go, you don't have to believe it, just sit back and wait. It helps you to keep a calm mind, because being upset or whatever is not going to change anything. And I can assure you that he's going to get justice. Justice takes time. Just because some other people that you may speculate that has something to do with it, it has not been gotten, it does not mean anything. Sometimes you have to let the devil think they winning. They'll start, they can't get me. That's how you let the devil think that you have to make them think they winning, or that they've gotten away with it, right? Sometimes that's what you have to do. Okay. I knew as soon as I got on, my clients were going to start calling. But yeah, like I said, he's going to be he's going to be in court on Friday. And I don't know if the bond hearing is going to be televised. I don't know. But it would be interesting if it was. I know oftentimes they may not, his lawyer may request that is not, I guess, based on how he feels, and the judge may honor that. So it's going to be interesting to see, you guys. Like I said, as I always say in this Dawes case, just based on what I know and I've been told, we're just in the beginning stages. And the best thing to do in this Dawes situation is not let people get you emotional. It's just to pray this thing through, because I've been saying from the very beginning, do I think that they were the only ones? Absolutely not. They were paid. I've said that from the very start. Even when people were saying, well, it was truly a mafia. Yeah, but somebody gave them some money. And so, even though I don't say a whole lot about Straight Drop, if you notice, I don't say a whole lot about Straight Drop and Cornelius, because I'm one of those people that like to dig at the root. Straight Drop and Cornelius and whoever those other people were that may have been out there, they're just the limbs and the branches. I kind of like to get at the root, which is whoever is funding that, whoever funded that, because that's really the problem when people are putting bags on people. Like, I like to get that, because once you start digging up the root of the tree and you go ahead and just dig it up, then that's when you get everybody, because you take down, when you dig up the root, you take down the tree, and no more rotten leaves and branches can grow from that. They can't produce nothing else rotten, because you've taken that tree down. So that's why I say, watch how much his bond is, if he gets a bond, and then let's see how he comes up with that money. Because I think that road will lead to something bigger, because we already know he ain't got it, right? People kind of overlook that high-priced lawyer he got. I've been saying that. How he paying for that? But, I know with lawyers, and he is high-priced, because I do work for lawyers. He's high-priced. So, but I know with lawyers, they know how to protect that, because they know how to manipulate stuff. They're lawyers, because more than likely, whoever is funded this is giving it to somebody in his family, the money, or to some of his friends. And it's easy to say, well, his friends all came up with the money and they paying for the lawyer. I mean, it's easy to say that, and that's, but it's still interesting. That high-priced lawyer, how is he? Who paid that retainers fee? Really? Who took that bag to whoever went over there and paid that lawyer? Because I got a feeling that That's if the bond is paid. That's what exactly where that money is going to come from. And then wherever that money comes from leads back to the roots of that tree, right? So that's why I always say watch stuff like that. Don't get emotional because you miss like intricate details, important details. And the root is the most important thing because that root is what is producing rotten branches and trees, meaning hits, putting bags on top of people's heads. They're the ones that's destroying the community, right? But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because he probably will get a bond. It's gonna be interesting to see, and like I said, a lot of people have a difference of opinion on the police does not have a dog in this fight. Why would they want to get Cornelius? Based on what those police officers, you have to know what they even went in that house and got. They got cell phones. You have to know what was in them. They know what was in them. I don't. you know so if you don't know all those things, don't it's not, don't it's best to wait it out, because there are things that even I don't know, right? So that's why I say when people have their difference of opinion, I go, okay, well, I don't know, we'll wait it out and see, because that's all we can do. We can't force them to um um you know get an emotion that ain't gonna change nothing. The court system is backed up. So the reason their court dates may be next year, most trials are always the next year. It ain't because they're trying to get more evidence. That's how it is. Most trials always start the very next year. I know that for a fact. Now, sometimes their attorneys can get their dates moved up, but I don't believe that their attorneys are not trying to do that. I don't believe. And even when this is over with Cornelius and Straight Job, it ain't over. It's not going to be over for this Young Dolph situation. As I keep saying, it's just the beginning. So y'all might as well just put y'all seatbelts on, because I think this thing is a movie. Okay. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to stop right there because I need to call my clients back. But I would like for you to like, share, and subscribe. And I want you all to know I truly appreciate you all so much. I really do. Like I said, I appreciate all my subscribers, all of my viewers, even the spectators. Make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate you for the views. And I do love you all. I'll talk with you later.